I get it, you've just been handed a stack of unmarked parts, safety signs are peeling off the walls, and the guy in facilities is looking at you like you're the one who's supposed to figure out how to keep everything readable without blowing the budget. You've probably Googled industrial label printer at 2 a.m., watched a couple of demo videos, and now you're stuck wondering if you should actually spend the kind of money that makes you double-check the return policy. That hesitation is real, because a printer like this sits in the middle of a workflow that can either save you hours of manual tape and marker work or become another piece of equipment that just gathers dust. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Brady i7100 is marketed as a heavy-duty, 600 dpi label maker that automatically peels labels from the liner, and the promise is that you'll walk away with crisp, durable tags without having to wrestle with a roll of tape every time you need a new code. Before we dive into whether that actually holds up in a real shop floor, let's talk about the kind of environment this printer was built for. If you run a manufacturing line, a warehouse, or a maintenance department where you're constantly labeling cables, pipes, bins, and equipment, you're dealing with a high volume of labels that need to survive heat, chemicals, and rough handling. In those settings, a printer that can spit out high-resolution graphics and then peel the label away automatically is a huge time saver. The i7100 600dpi output means barcodes, QR codes, and tiny text stay readable even after you slap a label on a metal conduit that gets heated to 150°F. The touchscreen interface is designed for quick menu navigation, so a shift supervisor can pull up a template, type a serial number, and have the label printed in under a minute. That speed translates directly into less downtime when a piece of equipment needs to be relabeled after a repair. Now, let's be clear about who really benefits from those features. The sweet spot for the i7100 is a team that prints at least a few hundred labels a day and can afford the consumables that come with a dedicated industrial printer. If you're a small office that only needs a few nameplates a month, you'll probably end up paying far more per label than you'd spend on a desktop thermal printer or even a handheld label maker. Also, because the i7100 is a monochrome device, anyone who needs full-color labels for branding or safety warnings will have to look elsewhere. The machine is built to be rugged, but that also means it's a bit bulkier than a desktop model, so you need a permanent spot on a workbench or a wall-mounted shelf. If you're hoping to tuck it into a closet and pull it out only when a label is needed, you might find the setup a little cumbersome. From the practical side, the automatic peeling mechanism is the star of the show. In the field, technicians often complain that they have to manually tear the backing off each label, which slows them down and can lead to torn edges. With the i7100, the printer pulls the liner forward, peels the label cleanly, and ejects the finished piece onto a collection tray. In my experience watching a few shop floors that have adopted this model, the difference is noticeable. A worker can walk from the printer to the machine needing a tag and have it stuck on in under 10 seconds. That's the kind of micro-efficiency that adds up over a shift. There are, however, a couple of hidden trade-offs that you won't see on the spec sheet. First, the label rolls the printer uses are proprietary to Brady, and they carry a higher price per foot than generic thermal rolls. If you're buying a new roll every week, that cost can start to nibble at your ROI. Second, the printer's maintenance cycle includes a cleaning cartridge that needs replacement roughly every 10,000 labels. For most industrial users that's a manageable interval, but it does mean you have to keep an eye on the printer's internal counters, otherwise you risk print quality dropping right when you need it most. Another practical consideration is the software integration. The i7100 comes with a Windows-based label design application that lets you import CAD drawings, create barcodes, and save templates. It's not a cloud-based platform, so you'll need a PC on the same network to design and push labels to the printer. For a facility that already runs a central PC for inventory management, that's fine. But if you're trying to label on the fly from a tablet, you'll hit a wall. There's no native iOS or Android app yet. That limitation can be a deal-breaker for teams that rely on mobile devices for rapid labeling. Let's talk durability for a minute because that's a big part of why you might be willing to pay a premium. The i7100's chassis is built with reinforced steel, and the print head is sealed against dust and coolant splashes. In environments